I think that sounded like that monkey was actually being murdered. That was quite horrific. No, I didn't laugh at monkey like death. Like, no, please don't. I really like. When I was a child, there was a book called Kim, and it was all about a monkey with like it was adopted, and I just really like monkeys, so I don't think that I would want to kill monkeys or harm animals. Okay, moving on.
We-
Welcome to the Fitpreneurs, the show that will help you flex your business muscles so you can make more money and live the life you really want. No more complaining, whining, or being a wimp. It's time to pump up your fitness business and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. So no girly man or lazy ladies allowed. It's time for me to do some push-ups and turn things over to my friends AJ Roberts and Simon Lovell. Hasta la vista.
Welcome to another episode of the Fitpreneurs. I'm your host, AJ Roberts, and with me is the ever beautiful number one man, Mr.
Simon Lovell. Simon Lovell. I'm a bit concerned actually, AJ, that you've called me beautiful for 2 weeks running. Is there?
There's a reason.
Are you like the gorilla, and it's like you got this hand wrapped around climbing up something in New York, and it's like I'm this doll in your hand or something for this episode?
I think that would be a great image for the beginning. But we talk a lot about affirmations, and I'm trying to encourage and to install in you that you are a amazing person. So I'm just being that positive person in your life, as I know you need that so badly.
I'm needing the alpha, not the injection of femininity, which you're then doing by calling me beautiful.
Well,
handsome chap. Anyway,
you got to try to have balance, right?
And absolutely. So, what are we talking about today, guys? We are talking about a subject which I am super excited to be talking about, which is marketing. Not just marketing, though, but guerrilla marketing. Hence the craziness at the start. We've actually talked a lot on previous episodes about marketing, but I think for those of you who are more of the creative, and I'm sure that we've got listeners who are a bit more on the creative side, you're going to find this episode particularly enlightening in terms of the possibilities of how you can get new clients into your personal training business and really grow it. I know that AJ really loves this topic too. We're both very creative people, and I just love this. When you get this, it only takes just a crazy idea in your head, and then you move into action, and then you get a result from it, and you're like, damn, that was just created from my crazy brain. And that's what guerrilla marketing is about. AJ, why don't you explain? Well, actually, before we do that, there's a little hook in there. Why don't we just have guys give them a little update on what's been going on?
Dun, dun. Commercial break.
What's been going on? What's been going on since the last episode for you?
Well, actually, I've just been head down working on a few projects. Got some exciting things coming up soon that I'll be announcing probably in the next few days. Just the weather here in San Diego has been up and down. We've had super hot days, and then today is a wet, rainy, overcast day. So we've had this change in the weather, but it's kind of good. It's funny when you live somewhere that's pretty much paradise on earth and 70 degrees year round. You start to actually miss some of the bad weather, some of the rain, the wind, even snow, and having lived in the Midwest, having and suffered through snowstorms and ice storms and things like that. I never thought I'd say that I missed the snow, but luckily there's only a drive away if you want to get to the mountains here. So, but it's nice to have a little bit of seasonal weather. It makes you feel like you're not missing all those things.
Talking of seasonal weather and lack of sun, I'm off to Canada in a couple of weeks' time. I think I mentioned it on the last episode to do some skiing, which I don't really do before. So I've actually been for skiing and snowboard lessons. And that was very interesting. I was on my ass about 50 times in the snowboarding.
Did you find the skiing easier?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have this weird thing about being sideways, and I tried to snowboard when I was back in high school. Actually, we went up to one of the mountains, and we had rented snowboards, and they have typically on a mountain they have the big path that you can go down, and they have this little one for amateurs, right? And so I'd been going down the amateur path all day and literally falling down the amateur path all day. And I says, you know what? I'm just going to take the the ski lift up, and I'm going to come down the big one. I don't care if I fall. Like, I just want to experience it. So the small ski lift to get to there, basically you got off onto the snow. So I'm on the big ski lift. I'm going up the mountain and get to the top and realize that they don't have like a nice, easy get off the ski lift. It's like a drop in. There's like 10 feet between you and where you have to jump off. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So no other way to do it. So I jump off the ski lift and, of course, just crash and burn. And the people there who are managing the ski lift stopped the ski lift to check on me and make sure I was okay. And anyway, I brushed that off and got to the mountain to go down. And I literally went down backwards the whole way, hands on the snow, snowboard bouncing like aggressively down the ski. And that was it for my snowboarding days. And so I've stuck to skiing ever since. For some reason, I don't have a problem skiing. And even water skiing, I can water ski, but I can't wakeboard. And, I want to learn how to surf being out here. And I've been paddleboarding and things like that. But I haven't taken on surfing because of this sideways problem I seem to have. Whenever I get sideways, I don't seem to be out of balance or seem to be able to control it. So, I've had some experiences in the waves out here, some of the way, like getting hit pretty hard and injured myself. So we're going to see how that goes moving forward. But, I had I find snowboarding difficult as well. And probably a lot of our listeners are like laughing at right now as they probably are pros or something on the slopes. But I just have this weird thing about being sideways.
I actually probably think they're thinking, KJ, just get on with it. I want the content. I'm just kidding. In fact, this weekend I'm going to go and buy some snowboarding and ski gear up in London, and I'm determined to look like Jim Carrey out of Dumb and Dumber. When he comes out of the hotel, he's got them on his feet, and then the Lamborghini opens and all stuff, and he's like, "Here you go, handing out money. Here you go."
I know you, you'll be the best looking, like well dressed guy up there on that slope. So you'll at least look the part, right? You'll at least have all the things but you might find that you spend most of your time in the log cabin in the lobby hanging out with the others who have got tired of falling off on the slopes.
Absolutely, it's going to be fun. I'm super looking forward to it. I think I explained. I think I mentioned in another episode or in some conversation that when I was a personal trainer, one of my stories of like I can't go skiing, snowboarding was that if I break something, then I'm not going to be able to train my clients. So I never did it. So this is I'm 35 years old. I think is that 1979. I think. And I've never been on the slopes, and I can't do math either. Yeah. Anyway,
it's funny you thought like that about with your career and how like, oh, if I get injured, I can't work. Because I've thought like that, when I was a professional powerlifter and competing, like there was a lot of things I wouldn't do just in case, right? And to diverge a little bit, because we're going to go right into the content, we got a lot to share, but I think a lot of trainers probably do put off a lot of things they want to do in life because they either fear injury or they have a thought process of that's not possible right now. And so, I think that if anything, me and you have learned in the last few years, and as our relationship's gone from client, coach to friends, and now, business partners
romance.
Yeah. Heck, you are moving here to be with me. So, but I think that one thing we've learned is that when you want to do something, the quicker you do it, the better. And it creates these shifts that ripple throughout what it is you're doing. And so, some of the things we always encourage our clients to do, I know you do as well, is to kind of set these milestone goals and rewards and just take action immediately to make that happen, or if they have the ability to make it happen now, to not wait, but to take the vacation, to commit to the purchase, to go jump off a cliff or out of a plane, like to do these big things because they really do shift the way you think about possibilities. And I think that it's something that like we've learned that the more accelerated that, the quicker that is, the better. So definitely something I think that a lot of people listening can probably relate to of putting off something they want to do, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. Guys, as always, please, we would love your feedback. Please head to iTunes, give us a 5-star review and hit the subscribe button. That ranks us up a little bit higher. But also, be honest, I would love to read your reviews. You can also reach out to me and AJ Facebook.com/boylovell, BOYLOVELL, Facebook.com/AJ Roberts. Also to Fitpreneurs.com if you can't use iTunes for some bizarre reason. And in fact, AJ, you were talking about some of our listeners we need to get it on the Samsung or something.
Yeah, we're going to try to, use a couple of different podcast software that will get it out to more networks, so hopefully more people can listen. And if you are listening on the computer and you want to listen on your phone, then hopefully we'll be able to do that. We may even start including and maybe an MP3 download link if that helps some people. So we'll see. We got a lot of stuff planned, and it just depends on logistics and what we can make happen. But we obviously want to spread and help as many people as possible, and so we're going to see what we can do to make that possible.
So AJ, how would you define, in your years of experience in marketing, how would you define guerrilla marketing in a short sentence?
I don't do much short, but to me, guerrilla marketing is using what you got and making the most of it. So, if you have no money, it's figuring out what can you do with no money to be successful. So what marketing strategies can you use to be successful? If you have a little bit of money, it's about figuring out what's the best investment for that to give you the biggest return. And so guerrilla marketing to me is really aggressive marketing, not like aggressive in the sense of forceful or anything like that, but aggressive in the sense of, getting the biggest bang for the buck and utilizing what you got. And so we're going to go through a bunch of different things in terms of stuff, to hopefully generate some ideas for you. This is going to be more of a idea generating episode than really a tactical episode. But it's really about, people use budget as an excuse. They say, I can't afford advertising. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. And so our goal with this is no matter where you are in your business or how you think about your business in terms of what you can invest back into the business, you should be able to take something from this episode and go implement it and make it work and start to really, get a steady, lead flow and turn those leads into customers and clients from what we're going to share today. But to me, guerrilla marketing is really about the hustle and taking what you got and really building, it's basically low budget marketing and just aggressive marketing. And you're just going as hard as you can with what you've got and utilizing that. So hopefully that made sense. Like I said, I can't just give a short definition, but that's the best I got.
So for me, guerrilla marketing, really, my definition of it is creating more of a wow factor. Like, I really didn't expect that from the people that viewed the type of marketing. So standing out against the grain and doing something different and using, maybe a different kind of budget for sure. But I just think really just separating yourself and just being super creative, just taking a really random idea and then testing it and seeing if it works. And then people noticing and remembering you, I think, is key. So that's my real definition of guerrilla marketing. Why does it work? Well, that's one of the main reasons it works is that you are standing out, you are being different, you are lodging yourself in people's minds, and when you do that type of thing, then you really do separate yourself from those that are just putting flyers out or even just doing the online stuff. It's all about building connections with people, and if you can tap into their emotions with the type of marketing that you're doing, then that's going to really help. Why most trainers don't do it? Well, it actually takes some action, which is something which I hope as a listener to this podcast, you are a fitpreneur, which means that you're an action taker and you're more of a business owner. So this is stuff that if you take action on it, test it small and then start scaling out, do it more often. But this is also really for those that want to have some fun with the business too and get super creative. So what we're going to do is we've actually come up with a list of 20 different, and I'm sure we're going to add a few more in as we go, because I'm sure I'll get ideas and this will be a very creative episode. We're going to run through alternating with me and AJ, just different ways that you can creatively attract new prospects and then obviously convert those into paying clients for your fitness business, whatever level you're at.
Yeah, I think one thing that like a lot of people need to realize is that the more outrageous you can be in your marketing, the more attention it will get. So there's obviously a fine line between offending someone or going too far. But honestly, those who tread that line tend to get the most attention, tend to get the most results, because you want to basically, and we've talked about this in other things like the video episode and things like that, but you want to create a pattern interrupt. And simply that means is you want to stop someone dead in their tracks from whatever they're doing to take note. And by doing that, you draw them in, you suck them in, and then whatever it is that they're drawn to obviously leads them back to coming into the gym or reaching out and contacting you. But it's really about, like Simon said, standing out in the crowd and breaking away from the pack and really separating yourself. And that's what's going to turn you into an amazing trainer in the community, is when people, they know your name because they've seen what you've been doing. And that's a key component of this, because if you just look like, sound like, and, act like everybody else, people would just assume you're like everybody else. And so our whole thought process on being successful in, as a trainer in the marketplace, and we talked about this in the early episodes about becoming a celebrity, charging high prices, doing all these things to really give you a positioning of authority. It comes from being different. And so you have to embrace that, and you have to really, if you're not a creative person, you really need to think, you don't need that many creative ideas. You can borrow from us, but you really need to think about, how do I look like someone else? And you don't want to look like everybody else. You want to stand out. And if everybody's going in one direction, and if, so let's say everybody is doing a certain form of advertising, you really want to do something completely different, because that way you're going to stand out, because no one else is doing that. And that's the key. And so as we go through here, really start to think about, is anyone else doing this in my community? And if they're not, it's an opportunity for you to jump on and really leverage and take advantage of it, and before someone else hears the podcast and beats you to it.
Cool. What I thought we'd do, AJ, is every time you finish one, so you're going to do number one, I'll do number two, you do number three. You have to end it so that I know that I've got to do the next one with like a monkey noise. How about that?
We'll give it a shot, I guess.
AJ didn't expect that. Well, this is going to be hilarious, because I want to make every one of these episodes, because we're on episode number 25 now. You realize this is our 25th anniversary. We've not been doing it for 25 years. It's just 25 episodes, right? But it sounds great. So we were celebrating the 25th episode by introducing something new. And I thought maybe from the next episode we could get some little jingles coming in, maybe have a little news break, stuff like that. Really turn it into like more of a show. Because actually, when I moved to San Diego, which fingers crossed is going to happen, we've got some crazy plans for what we're going to do with the Fitpreneurs. Trust me, we've got some awesome stuff planned up. So anyway, we're going to start off with the monkey. Mate, seriously, how did that happen? Because it was genius.
I got my ways.
Okay, I need to find something on iTunes too.
All right.
Off you go.
So, you want me to start, or you want to kick it off?
You go. You kick it off.
All right. So the first one, actually, why don't you start, because your first one confuses me.
Okay, cool.
Because I didn't know the context behind it, and I don't want to do a disservice to what you have here, because I know that you probably have very specific ideas. So okay. You kick it off, and then we'll go back and forth. Well, and
I'll interject on the other ones too, because I've got some different ideas. So I'm sure we'll both be helping each other out. I'm glad that we prepared for this episode, as always.
I know. There's from looking at our downloads, and again, thank you everyone for listening. We gain more traction every single week, so I know what we're doing makes a difference, and the content comes out, and if people don't want to listen to the banter and listen to all the stuff at the beginning, I'm sure by now they figured out to skip ahead 10, 15, 20 minutes and get what they want from it. And we've had nothing but great feedback. I think those that don't like it probably just disappear, which is fine. But we've had nothing but great feedback, and I'm so glad to be doing this. And every week I think the content when we get into it is phenomenal, and I think that to be honest, we should be charging for this every single week. There's a lot of stuff we're giving away that I think could be turned into a course, could be turned into that. So I definitely see the value in this, and if that means they have to listen to us abusing each other a little bit, then they're going to have to get used to it.
Absolutely. So number one is sticky notes. So sometimes when we talk guerrilla marketing, we're not talking about doing stuff sometimes on a big scale, but like if you've got a prospect that you want to sign up, but they haven't signed up, and you're maybe in a gym, then just leaving little sticky notes of tips and advice, or it was great to see you. Okay, it just raises your the level of connection that you have. So, you could do mass sticky notes when you're sending out a leaflet. Instead of just sending out a leaflet, you could put a sticky note on it with a just a handwritten telephone number, and it just stands out. Okay, so you can use sticky notes in lots of different things. They're used a lot in marketing, and that's because they pop out. And so I just think sticky notes are just a fantastic way just to get that added connection with people.
Moving on to number 2. So, you can create a recipe book or any handout really that would be useful, and you can leave it around the gym for your members, or hand it out to your members to take home, and then that that will sit in their account. It may become a conversation piece. You can work with local businesses, shops, and things like that, where you could maybe put the recipe book. They can sell it, they can give it away, so it's an add-on for their customers. And if you think about places, depending on your demographics and what your recipe book is, for instance, if you have a paleo book, maybe you work with CrossFit or CrossFit type gyms where you put in the paleo book because the community is educated about that, and it'd be interesting to them. So you put it in the places that might get more traction, and you could also work with local restaurants and maybe ask them if they would like to give the recipe book away or sell the recipe book, to their customers. You also could collaborate with the restaurant and maybe have a few items on the menu as a healthy choice item, sponsored by your gym. I've seen that done. And so, basically you're just looking at ways to, and we've talked about this many times, right? About, getting into someone's lives the other 23 hours of the day. And so if you're showing up in their lives in the different places they go to, then naturally, if I was out eating and I'm looking for a healthy meal option sponsored by your gym, I'm naturally going to want to find out more about your gym. Or if there's a recipe book there about healthy meals, I'm naturally going to want to know who wrote that. And when I find out they're local, I find out they have a local gym, there's a higher probability that I'm going to want to go in. If anything, you become a conversation piece, and someone in the network is going to hear about you. They may want you to come speak, a lunch and learn. They may want you to come and educate students. You never know where it's going to go and what hands it's going to get into. So having something that you can give away like that is going to be very powerful. But not only that, it's going to raise your authority, because who has a book? Who has information? It's someone who is an authority. It is a leader in the community.
Also, you could just buy a marrow and put someone's name on it and put it in their locker.
Okay.
This episode is going to be so wrong. Stop it. Okay. Local fitness performance. We're not talking about dancing around with maracas here, which I know AJ loves to do in a little dress. But what you could do, if I really wanted to get some business in, and I was doing, for example, I know we've got many CrossFit gym owners listening. Hi guys. If I was doing a workout of the day and I wanted to get some business in, I'd take it into the high street and you can phone up the local council and get some space, do some WODs on a busy Saturday lunchtime and sign people up there and there. That'd be awesome. Seriously. In fact, here at CrossFit Bath, when we was at CrossFit Bath, I had this idea, and it was just an idea in my head, which I didn't really suggest, but there's a place called the Crescent in Bath, and it's where everyone just hangs out on a summer's day. Just go there and do a workout, and it'd be awesome. Just take your workouts into different places, and then invite people in.
Yeah, here.
And we want, guys, if you do that, film it seriously and tag us and put it on your page, and then tag the Fitpreneurs in it.
Yeah, a lot of people here take their workouts down to the beach, and they'll do a lot of stuff on the beach, and they always get looks. They always get people asking what's going on and things like that. So you want to go where the people are, and you want to put on a demonstration, so to speak, of what it would actually be like, so they can see, the group suffering. They can see the community aspect of it. They can see you in action as a coach. And basically, if you think about it, it's kind of a try it before they buy it type thing. If they see what's going on and they like what they see, they're going to be, it's going to raise their intrigue. They're going to want to come and reach out to you. and they already know what it's all about. So they're going to be what we call a hot lead because they're pre-sold on what it is you're doing because they can see it. And there's no questions to ask about, well, what's the training like? How does it work? Basically, you're going to take them through the same sales process you normally would, but with the understanding that they already kind of have a conception of what it is you're doing, and they've already decided that you can help them. And so as long as you don't screw it up, they're probably going to become a customer.
Make sure guys, you got your shirt off because that's going to attract the women, and also girls, if you're doing it, put on really skimpy hot pants, and just let me know the address and time.
We'll make sure you keep your shirt on, though, right?
Yeah, for the moment, a couple of months, I'll be there.
Number four. Number four is to recruit hairdressers, and it could be any local business, but hairdressers especially are great referral machines, so to speak, because they see so many people, and it's their job to talk to people. And so one of the things I've done in the past and something that you can leverage is basically working with hairdressers. You can, if you run a boot camp style gym or large group or small groups where you can insert someone and it doesn't actually cost you any more of your time or anything to bring that person in. You can even gift hairdressers, a month free with you in order for that promotion, and they'll share with their customers. They'll talk to their customers. You can give them like referral cards and reward them for their help, with either money or gifts or whatever. And most people aren't actually motivated by money to get the money. What they're motivated about is helping you. And so, a gift card to Starbucks, usually most people love, especially if they're, so once you get to know the hairdresser, you can find out what they like. But the beautiful thing with this relationship is that they see customers all day long. So they have long-term customers, they have new customers. And so you can allow them to experience your services, and then they're naturally going to talk about it. They're naturally going to recommend because it's all part and parcel of their job, the conversation piece. I've never had a haircut where my hairdresser didn't speak to me. So it's definitely probably one of the best joint ventures, the best partners that you can find is a good hairdresser or good hairdressers. And remember, you don't have to limit yourself here. You could go to every hairdressing place in your little town or city and partner with them. And so it's just a great person to be connected to, or people to be connected to. They're going to be, like I said, basically a walking, talking billboard for you, especially if they're experiencing and getting results.
Oh, yeah. That's my turn. So next one is AJ. No, that was you.
Yes.
That's my turn. Okay, so these episodes are just getting funnier and funnier by the minute. So next one is the big spinning wheel. Okay, actually one of my clients does this, and he'll take like a big spinning wheel and just put lots of different things that they can win on it, and then they can spin it around. People love playing games, and then maybe they will win a free session, maybe they win a massage. You can link up with a massage therapist. Maybe they win a free week of training, and you just like do one of those game show type things, and then do your lead generation using that. And it's just a really good fun way to have a game in your neighborhood.
It's Gorilla's getting tired over there. So number 6, crazy art. And this can be on the floor. If you can maybe find a building that's under construction, you can ask if you could have the construction walls, if you could do art on those. But essentially crazy art, basically anything that's going to grab someone's attention. And you've probably seen some of the street art artists out there who have created stuff. And there is probably, a street artist or a graffiti artist or some form of artist that knows how to leverage this in terms of what to create. And you can collaborate together, come up with an idea on what it's going to be and how it's going to bring people in. But basically, you want them to stop and to take notice and then to see. Obviously, it's going to need to be a little bit branded and some call to action in there, maybe even the website. But essentially, it's taking over the streets and with art and not traditional graffiti that's just ugly, but it's something that people stop and go wow, and we've seen a lot of different designs out there now. People are getting taking this to the extreme with 3D. Street art where basically like it looks like if you fell, you'd fall through the crack, or there's a lot of different ones. And so you could do a Google search and see this street art, this floor art to get ideas of how you could do that. And you could really create an awesome scene. Anything to add on that, Simon?
Yeah, well, actually, talking about the art, one of my clients was asking me what to do outside of his gym in terms of like whether should paint it or not, and what he could have actually done or could do is actually have like a big plastic wrap for the front of the gym, and actually on it's like it looks like it's inside the gym and it's busy, right? So you could almost, even if when it's closed, you could have it looking like it's open. So this is just about being creative. But yeah, I've seen those floor art things. If you just go into Google Images and type in floor, street art 3D, you probably have some stuff come up. And it's really, really creative, and it's just very, it just plays with the eye. And so if you could do that with something with fitness, where they feel like they're, part of the image or something like that, it would draw people's attention. They want to find out what it's about, and then you can open the conversation. A lot of this stuff, by the way, guys, is about just getting people to stop and find out more. It's just like, instead of you going and handing something to someone like, take this, you want people to come to you and go, wow, what's this about? Okay, that's what you want. Write this down. Wow, what's this about? In your marketing, is your stuff getting people to say, wow, what's this about? And that's always a good question to ask. I think that sounded like that monkey was actually being murdered. That was quite horrific. No, I didn't laugh at monkey like death. Like, no, please don't. I really when I was a child, there was a book called Kim, and it was all about a monkey it was adopted, and I just really like monkeys, so I don't think that I would want to kill monkeys or harm animals. Okay, moving on. I'm having so much fun.
Number 7, Simon. Number 7.
Number 7, my favorite number from a child, because David Beckham was number 7, I think. Tree wraps. So there was an example of some guerrilla marketing that a karate studio did, which was, having a tree and then having a leaflet in it with a belt, then tying that on the tree, or with lots of leaflets in it, right? So it's just like using the belt from the karate to actually wrap around the tree, which I thought was very clever. And in fact, another really good strategy, if you do run a karate studio, this is a strategy that works very well. If you do karate, but for children, or you do anything for children, it doesn't have to be karate, it could be anything. But basically, you want to get all of your members, okay, and then find out their birthdays. And on their birthday, you want to hire in or probably buy a bouncy castle. Then what you do is you allow them to borrow the bouncy castle, but in return for that, you can go along and do a presentation. So all the kids come to the bouncy castle because they all want to go for the free bouncy castle, which you've hired and is an investment. And then you can do karate demonstrations and sign all the kids up. How genius is that?
Genius.
Next one.
Number 8. Car wraps or truck wraps. Your vehicle can be a billboard, and a moving billboard, and you can travel around. You can park it strategically in your parking lots. But essentially, you can get these wraps, and you can get. You don't have to get permanent wraps. They make these magnetic wraps now, so that you can transform your vehicle from walking billboard, driving billboard, an advertisement into the family car. So you're not always wrapped if you don't want to be. But essentially your car can become a piece of advertising that you drive around, and you've probably seen other businesses doing this, and it's definitely something you want to look into. And I would talk to your accountant as well. There may be some tax break in there if you're using the vehicle in this manner as a business vehicle. You may be able to help you in that sense. But essentially, it's one of your number one assets that you have that you're maybe not utilizing right now, and you can get really creative with it. Don't have have just a boring, some text put across your back window, like I've seen, think creative, something that's bright, that's going to stand out, that people, it's basically a beacon that draws people's attention to it, and then, and lets them know what it's all about and what to do to follow up. So take your car, take your truck, and find one of these rat places. Nearly every city has them now, and go turn it into an advertisement.
Alternatively, just wrap yourself in cellophane and just run down the street with a dumbbell attached to your legs. The next one is hire banner space. I actually did this for my business when I had it, which was there was this like kind of roundabout, and I saw that there was this building which wasn't being used on the roundabout, and I was like, my God, this is prime positioning. And there was an advert for the to lease the place, or to let or whatever it was. So I phoned up the place and said, would you mind if I bought some space to put my banner for my training company up there? What did they say? Yes. How much? Nothing. The guy was just happy to do it for me, and I got business from that within a week. Yes.
Another place you can put advertising banners, and different things is on buses. If you live in an area that has local transportation, you can find out how much it is to advertise. You've got the outside of the bus, and then of course you've got the inside. Most buses have at least a few different things inside that you can advertise. And one of the things to think about with them is if you are on one, and let's say there isn't an advertising opportunity, maybe it's something you can present to the transportation company, and work with them to collaborate on something that gets something that they want, plus gets you what you want. And so that's always a good way to approach different people if they don't have stuff, is looking at how is it a win-win situation. So what are they currently paying for that you could pay for? And you see it on airplanes as well, like on the back of the headrest. Now a lot of companies are partnering with them and putting their advertising on those headrest sheets that they trade out for every customer. Now obviously that wouldn't work for you guys if because it's a local business, and this would be across the country. But that same thought process is what is already there that you could work with them to basically pay their cost for whatever it is they're using, and then it's replaced with a piece of advertising. So, local transportation is great. People are on and off that all day long. You're getting in front of a lot of eyeballs. You're going to get in front of a lot of people, and someone is going to be interested in losing weight with the way the population is. The majority of people are overweight, so the average is overweight. So, there's a good chance that someone is going to see that, and it's going to pay off for you to have that in there and create awareness and, get a lot of clients out of it.
Yep. Next one is taxi cab. So, you could do a joint venture with a local taxi cab firm, and basically, for every client that they see, well, you could train a person as an exchange, the taxi cab drivers. But then, when they get clients, they can give them your free voucher for a free personal training session or whatever you want to do. So it's a good way to be creative.
Yeah, one of the things I'd say with...
And then they can just drop them straight off to you too, because they're a cab driver.
That's like Vegas and the strip clubs. One of the things...
Whoa, let's stop and talk
One
about
of the
that.
things, so you got taxi cabs, so don't forget now we've got like Uber and Lyft and all these other companies as well that are popping up that you can, we work with the drivers if you get to know them, especially locally. But one of the things you could do, if they're not so keen on just promoting you straight up and giving away like, a gift card or giving away, or like telling them about your business, is you could sponsor like their water. And you could say, look, I'm gonna buy you water. You get your own labels printed, and give them water to put in a cooler. So when someone gets in the vehicle, they can offer them a drink. Would you like a bottle of water? And on the bottle of water, it says what gym it's by. It's going to be a conversation piece. So the person's probably going to ask or at least take note of that. And so you could do that as well with like a healthy snack. So you can take it as far as you want to, but that's going to help their business because they're going to become known as the taxi or the Uber, Lyft driver that gives away that stuff, and people are going to request them and gonna give them great reviews, and so it's going to help their business as well. So again, it's a win-win situation, and all you're doing is, let's say you're paying 25 cents for the bottle of water and another 25 cents for the label. It's costing you 50 cents a bottle. That's very, very cheap advertising. I'll do that all day long, to actually get in front of a real person. So it's a great resource for you guys to tap into.
What about if they did it with Coke cans and then put their label over the Coke can, and then they'd obviously create them a problem, and then they'd solve it with the solution?
Always
kidding.
thinking you, aren't you? Always thinking.
I know. I'm always thinking like this. No, but you shouldn't do that. Guys, that was just a joke, okay? Don't do that, please. So this one was just actually more of an observation. So Fitness First did this campaign. You probably find it on online somewhere. Actually, I think I'm going to do a blog post at some point about Guerrilla stuff with images. But they had a bus stop ad where basically the person sat down on the seat, and then on the, they have the picture next to it. And then that made the scales go up as they sat down, and it just basically flashed, and it was just like, you weigh this, you're overweight. Like, it was just, I think it was more of a concept than an actual thing that they did. But I just wanted to share that as more of a story rather than this. That would be depending on the size of your business. I think that probably could be quite an expensive spend versus return. Although you'd likely to get a lot of complaints, which would be awesome for PR.
Exactly. So one of the
whoa, monkey noises from you. Oh, okay, AJ, can you now do a monkey noise and stop talking?
Where we are? Number 13. Leave barbells in the street and then do body fat tests, or really leave anything in the street to stop someone, ask you what it's all about, and then lead capture by getting their information and doing a body fat test. You can actually, getting body fat tests is really, or giving body fat tests is a really great one to do. You can, you basically can go to different local events. You can put a day, you can have a Saturday where it's come and get your body fat tested, and a lot of people will take you up on that. So, you're just looking for ways to interact with a person. And the great thing with the body fat test is that the numbers are the numbers, and it's not you telling them they're overweight. You're going to see exactly where they're at. You're going to show them how to calculate how much fat they have on their body, how to calculate what their lean body mass is. So they have a target, they have a goal. Because remember, a lot of times when your clients come in and talk to you, they might say they want to lose 10 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. And you might look at them and say, well, you got like 40 or 50 to lose. Because in your experience, that once they lose that 20 pounds, it's not going to give them the look that they've said they've desired. So a lot of times people don't really know how overweight they are or how much fat they have on their body. And so body fat test is a great way to expose that and really, make them realize how bad of a shape they're in. And so if all of a sudden the body fat, machine says you're 60 pounds overweight, that's a little bit of a shock to hear, but it also gives you the opportunity then to provide the solution for them. And again, you're in that authority position, and they're going to be like, help, like clearly I need help here. And so you can move them forward. But of course, at the same point, you've got their information. So if they don't decide to move forward with you, now you have your follow-up sequence you should have in place for leads that come in to nurture them and to hopefully turn them into a client down the line.
Next, PR and media. So this is more of an advert, I think, for the previous episode which we did, which you guys should always check out our other episodes if you've not listened to them, because we did one on getting into the media, which would be really useful for. But just as an outline, and making it a bit more guerrilla, if you're finding out a local radio host who's going for like a marathon or doing like a Tough Mudder or something, you could do something crazy with them and suggest crazy creative things to the local media. Because here's the thing, when it comes to the media, the first rule of the media, which I've had a lot of experience in being on TV, presenting, published book, etc., is that you need to provide value to them. It's not about like promote my thing, because they'll just, what will happen if you do that is they'll send a very simple email to forward your email and go advertising at, which is their advertising department, and please follow up. That's what they'll do. Okay. So, but if you go and provide value to them and offer them a creative story, for example, you are doing a crazy event in town where you're jumping around and being crazy with something for charity, for example, and it's something that visually would be attractive to them, and you've got some case studies and stories of people that have transformed, then that's more likely to be newsworthy. And so you can actually combine some of these strategies with the media too, in actually attracting them to that. So think about combinations and using the media to build all this guerrilla marketing together, because they're much more likely to what, because think about it, they want their readers and their viewers and their listeners to want to see things that are fun and actually entertain them. So if you can make your marketing entertaining, which is what this guerrilla marketing is about, then you're much more likely to get coverage.
Awesome. Number 15 is turn clients into walking billboards. The great thing about clients is, especially if you're getting them results, is they're going to be raving fans. And the way that you make it so they don't even have to say anything is, you outfit them in swag, free t-shirts, hats, backpacks, water bottles, anything you can put your information on, anything you can put your logo on, anything you can create, an advertisement out of, and give to the client, the better. And so essentially, these guys are going to wear this stuff. They're going to carry this stuff. They're going to be so pumped that you gave them something anyway. So you kind of, it's 2 for 1 here. Number 1, your clients love you because you've given them a lot of free stuff and they think you're awesome. But number 2, everywhere they go now, they are a billboard for you. Everywhere they go, they're an advertisement, and people are going to see that. And so if, let's say someone works in an office, basically they work in an office and they have a water bottle, and month 1 they're with you, they drop 7 pounds, okay? People around them might take notice and might start to see, but let's say by month 3 they've dropped 30 pounds, they're going to look incredibly different. Well, what is the one thing that everyone keeps seeing is that person with their water bottle, or that person with the t-shirt that you gave them, or the backpack that you gave them. And so anyone in that office who is overweight, who maybe wants to make a change, right, they're going to have seen that week after week after week. And so who do you think they're going to speak to when they're ready? They're going to speak to the girl or the guy that is working with you, and they're going to say, hey, I noticed that you've lost a lot of weight recently and that you work out at that gym. Can you tell me more about it? Boom. There's the conversation starter. There's the entry point into the gym. And again, they're going to be pre-sold because they've seen the results firsthand by that person walking around. Same as someone was a hairdresser, same as someone was a business owner, and their employees saw that change. And so anything you can put your logo on, anything you can basically show that they belong to your gym. And people love t-shirts, so t-shirts are great, but if at work they're not necessarily going to take a t-shirt with them. So what else can you do? And the water bottle is a great thing, especially if they have to drink 8 of those a day or something like that, because it's going to become a tool they use constantly. But you want to get in places that everyone's going to see, and you want to turn those clients into billboards. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Well, just on that also, have a think about this. Those they put those boards on people, and then they advertise to go into the sofa shops, and they stand on the edge of the street, and the people just texting. Well, imagine if you've got an overweight client. What the best way to get fit is to just walk around with one of those on all day and then film it. Sorry, when we're doing these podcasts and AJ's talking, I just come up with these weird ideas of just funny stuff, and so I just do apologize if anyone's offended by that. I'm not really actually.
You know what's going to happen is someone's actually going to force their client to put they're going to be it's part of your training program, and then and then they're going to get in trouble, and then they're going to come back and they're going to say, well, Simon Lovell told me to do this, and then
Simon said jump into a river. So. No, seriously, and then they could have and then what you could do to humiliate them is on the back and front is have a picture of just someone that's really overweight, and that's just ultimate leverage in order to get fit.
I think most people are going to probably pass on that one.
I'm pushing the boundaries now for humor, okay, because it's funny. I think I'm funny. I'm just kidding. Next one is community events. Get creative and start to do things in the local community that stand out. Again, building in some of these things that you do around your local area. That was a long one.
You also can hold community events, right? So you can basically hold on a Saturday, you can hold a free workout. A lot of people like to do that, like a community charity event. You can hold potlucks. You can create, you can have a party, client appreciation party. You could do all these things and create different community events where your clients can bring their friends, bring their family, can bring coworkers, and can bring to an environment where they get to experience the community outside of the normal setting. Or you can create, community event where they are working out and they're doing those things. And so they get to experience what it's like to be a part of that community. So community events are great. And that kind of leads into number 17, which is local events, attending local events. So there's a lot of different, associations and different things that go on in your local community. And you want to make sure that you're a part of those and you want to support them in any way that you can. And get a booth, get a tent, sponsor a table. If it's a charity dinner or something like that, you want to get involved in as many places as you can. And going back to the whole guerrilla style, think of how do we get involved and be different. And so, don't just get a white tent like everybody else. Maybe you wrap your entire tent. You get, in advertising, maybe you have a dunk tank that you bring in and you're doing, the body fat test using the dunk tank. How do you stand out amongst the crowd? If you're going to do something like that, how do you make it different and how do you stand out? But local events are great. So, I don't know why Simon's laughing over here, but I'm sure we're about to...
more crazy. Just come up with more crazy ideas. If you got a really serious local event, then you could take the client with the billboard and make sure that they could just infiltrate it, or you could have a bouncy castle and put overweight people on that because it would be funny to watch.
All right, you're up. Number 18.
Sorry,
Number 18.
Okay, so mall workout flash mob. You could have and set up something really crazy, especially with social media these days. Then doing something like a flash mob is a very creative idea. But again, if you've got a great social media following, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, then putting something together with weights and stuff like that, where you do something creative. And a lot of you guys have got connections with kind of dance teachers and so forth, and so they like to be creative and come up with different types of what's it called, AJ, when you do choreography? That's it. Come up with some awesome choreography, and that brings the community together. And that way, you can actually probably pull some clients just from doing that and pulling people together for the cause, and then do something for charity too. Link it to that, and that way you'll really benefit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you had. You didn't know you were done. There was no monkey noise there.
Sorry.
All right, number 19. Do a business of the month. We used to do this in the health club, where each month to select different businesses and call them up, and the secretary, whoever answered the phone, whoever's the phone answerer, we would give them a free membership for the month for the gym. And then we'd give them referral cards to give to the rest of the employees. And so we would basically call them and say, congratulations, you've been selected as business of the month. And here's what you get. And you could do one free pass for the month. You could do 2, 3 to use. And then, basically from that, you move them into a regular membership. It works really good. It's a really great way to get leads in. They're excited. They've got something, usually they don't get things like that. So they get pretty excited about it. And again, if you're using them, leveraging them, and you're giving them, turning them into a billboard with a t-shirt, with a water bottle, with things like that, that stuff's going to show up in their marketplace. And you can also offer a discounted rate, if you wanted to, for that business, for that, if they sign up that month. Like if 3 people sign up, this is the cost. If 5 people sign up, this is the cost. So instead of giving a referral fee and rewarding for the referrals, what you could do is move that into a discount on the membership based on how many members that business signs up for the month. So it's a really good way to leverage local businesses, to partner with local businesses, to give and then get. Always be on the giving side, and you could move this over to basically anyone you wanted to, giving them access to the gym or access to your training, providing, of course, you're leveraging your training. You're not doing one-to-one. This wouldn't work one-to-one. But if you have local celebrities, you could offer them training because you know they're going to talk about it and tweet and stuff like that, hopefully. And so there's lots of ways you could leverage this where you basically, reward someone and you select them and let them know and make a big celebration out of it and those kind of things. And then the goal is always though to get them to bring more people and to have, a high number of people signing up from that promotion, so to speak.
Thank you. I was waiting for it. Last and not least is random acts of kindness. In fact, on my blog, I've got this video I did in Vegas a while back, which was we were handing $100 bills out to homeless people. And the other day, in fact, I was in the supermarket and someone didn't check out their bit of chewing gum. And so I just paid for it for him because it didn't go through into his shop. And anyway, you could just adapt this for your business, just giving away random stuff to people to help them. And then obviously just give them like a gift card or gift voucher to have a free session too. And that doubles it up. Plus, if you want to get and supercharge that, then you just need to kind of video it, and then you can use that in your social media, and people kind of like it and share it. And so you can use that, and that I would definitely put in the category of guerrilla marketing, which wraps up today's crazy episode. I don't know how we do this, AJ, but we always seem to go to the hour mark, which is crazy how we manage to do that each time. We really do. We do. I don't even know whether that sound is recording, so it just might be awkward pauses. So, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, but we do have more to come. In fact, the best bits are just about to come. Before we move on, please do head to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. Please don't hurl abuse at me. It was just a joke of what I said. And also connect with us also on facebook.com / the Fitpreneurs, and also thefitpreneurs.com also. So the weekly challenge, we want you to pick something out of the 20. Please pick one thing and run your first guerrilla campaign.
Simon's Fat Man Billboard campaign.
Yes, do that. Hire the bouncy castle, get people on it, video it for fun. No, just joking. But seriously, we want you to do your first campaign and then upload a picture of it onto Facebook and tag us in it so we can see it, and we'll put together a special prize, of which I know what that prize is going to be. It is a used morph suit by me, which is actually a monkey, a gorilla suit, which is hilarious. It has been washed, but I actually have two of them in my wardrobe. That takes all the
value out of it.
It adds more value. Yeah. Okay, it adds more value. If that goes on eBay, trust me, that will be £5 bidded for that. I think they're £60 new or £100 new. You can check them out online. Morph suit, gorilla. They're crazy. You win one, which you can wear and then take pictures of it and then get more clients using that. AJ, do you want to move on to the quote?
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan. When you view your marketing from the vantage point of the gorilla, you realize that it's an opportunity to help your prospects and customers succeed. They want to succeed at earning more money, building their company, losing weight, attracting a mate, becoming more fit, or quitting smoking. You can help them. You can show them how to achieve their goal. Marketing is not about you, it's about them. I hope you never forget that. And that's by J. Conrad Liverson. And he is the best-selling author of Guerrilla Marketing. So from the godfather of guerrilla marketing. Anyone who has a book called Guerrilla Marketing and is a best-selling author is probably the authority on it. So it would actually probably be a good book to pick up for you guys.
In that case, I'm going to publish a book called Sex.
Well, there'll be a lot of blank pages on that one.
Oh dear, guys! Seriously, we do love doing these episodes because we just have fun, and we seriously the reason we do this podcast is me and AJ have a blast doing it, and we want to help you guys. We have fun, we talk about what we love, we have a bit of banter here and there, but on a serious note, we want you to have fun in your business, and so hopefully from this episode you've gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge and some action points and things that you can do to really turn your business around. With all the fun and laughter, there's a serious undertone to this, which is monkeys. See you next time.
Guys, thanks for the killer episode. Listen, if you want to take your fitness business to the next level, terminate your competition, create ultimate freedom, buy new houses, cars, which could blow up, travel the world, or open your own gym where you can lift really heavy weights, then head to www.thefitpreneurs.com/free call for details on how to apply for your free accelerator call. Until the next episode, hasta la vista, Fit Pros.